Hello, I'm Lute Olson, and over the last 25 years, I've coached the game of college basketball. But I'm not only a coach, I'm a fan. Over the years, I've met many fans just like you who love basketball, but who have indicated to me they watch the game, but they don't always understand what's happening on the court. This tape's for you. If you're the fan who has just started watching basketball, we're going to teach you the basics of the college and international game. If you're a fan who has already spent some time around the game, we'll help you develop a more educated view of what's happening on the court. We're going to show you the basic offenses and defenses of the game, the way plays develop, the importance of what happens away from the ball, and the impact the referee has on the game. When you finish watching this tape, you should be able to anticipate and predict what might happen during the game. Hopefully, you'll be able to see and understand the changes in offenses and defenses. You should have a more knowledgeable opinion of whether the referee's call was correct or not. Now, I'd like to have you meet the players.
Hi, my name is Robert Brickey. I play for Coach Mike Krzyzewski at Duke University.
Hi, my name is John Cooper, and I played at Wichita State University.
Hi, I'm Kevin Flanagan. I played at the University of Arizona.
Hi, I'm Mark Georgeson. I played at the University of Arizona and Pepperdine University.
Hi, I'm Greg Gurley, and I played for the University of Kansas Jayhawks.
Hi, my name is Cliff Johns. I played at the University of Arizona.
I'm Lance Levetter. I played at Northern Arizona University.
I'm Rob Palinka. I played for the University of Michigan Wolverines.
I'm Derek Phelps. I played for Coach Dean Smith at the University of North Carolina.
Hi, I'm John Smith, and I'm a former Duke Blue Devil.
I'm Quinn Snyder, and I played for Coach K at Duke University.
I'm Joe Turner, a former University of Arizona Wildcat.
Now that you've met everyone, let's get into the great game of basketball. We're going to start by showing you the court, discussing the structure of the game, and showing you the roles of the players. Let's start first with the court. There are 6 key areas that you'll hear players, coaches, and announcers talk about. The area between these lines is referred to as the lane or the paint. Now, in the international game, the lanes are wider under the basket area as indicated by these lines. The wing area would be the free throw line extended to both sides of the court. This is normally where the offense begins its attack. These small areas on either side of the basket are referred to as the blocks. It's easy to see why they have that name. Finally, there are 3 critical lines on the court. 1, the free throw line from which foul shots are attempted. 2, the three-point arc from which three-point shots are attempted. This area is also referred to as the perimeter or the outside. Finally, this is the midcourt line. The offense must bring the ball across this line within 10 seconds of gaining possession. Now that we're familiar with the court, let's discuss the structure of the game. The college game is 40 minutes in length, and it's divided into 2 20-minute halves. If the game is tied at the conclusion of the 40 minutes, we go into 5-minute overtime periods until a winner is decided. In the college game, the players and fans will notice there's a 35-second clock. Once a team gains possession of the ball, they must get the shot off within 35 seconds or lose possession of the ball. In the international game, the clock is 30 seconds, but the same rules apply. If the game is televised, there will be 4 television timeouts per half, 1 with less than 16 minutes on the clock, 1 with less than 12, less than 8, and the final one with less than 4 minutes remaining in the half. These timeouts will be called when there's a break in the action and the clock is stopped. In addition to the TV timeouts, each team will receive 3 timeouts that can be used at any point during the course of the game. If there's an overtime period, each team receives 1 additional timeout. In college basketball, we also have the 20-second timeout. We get 1 of those in each half of the game. The referees in a game make sure that the game rules are complied with by both teams. If a player or coach violates a rule, the referees will call a foul. A total is kept of each individual's fouls. Those fouls then are added up to create the team total. If a player receives 5 fouls, he then has fouled out and will be eliminated from the game. Any foul committed by the defense while a player is shooting puts that player who was fouled at the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. A made free throw is worth 1 point. If the foul is committed while taking a 3-point shot, however, the fouled player then is awarded 3 free throws. Fouls may also be committed when a player is not shooting the ball. These are referred to as non-shooting fouls. If a non-shooting foul has been committed, but the team total is 6 or less, the offended team then will be awarded the basketball out of bounds and must bring it in with the pass. After the 6th team foul in both college and international basketball, we have what we call the 1-and-1 situation. The player who was fouled is awarded a free throw. If he makes it, he is awarded another throw, which is called the bonus shot. If he misses the first free throw, however, the ball is rebounded and back in play. However, 2 differences exist between the college and international game regarding free throws. In college ball, with the 10th team foul and every foul thereafter, the team will be awarded 2 free throws. In international basketball, in the final 2 minutes of the game, the team will be given the option on a non-shooting foul of taking the ball out of bounds or shooting the free throws with a new shot clock. If they're fouled on a shot, however, they must shoot the throws. Well, we have the court and the game. Now let's add the cast, the people who really make the game work. Sometimes it looks like a bunch of guys running chaotically up and down the court shooting whenever they want. Occasionally that's what does happen, though no coach likes to admit it. Good players, though, have well-defined roles and execute those roles. The formal names for the positions on each team are the point guard, the off guard, the small forward, the power forward, and the center. Since we have experienced players in each of these positions, I'll let them tell you about their roles in the offense and defense.
I'm the point guard. You may also hear me referred to as the one man. When my team has the ball, it's my job to be the chief communicator, to be a leader on the floor. As my team comes down the court, I generally call the offensive play to be run, or I set the offensive pattern with the first pass. Once we're in the offense, I'm expected to be a perimeter scorer at the three-point line. My main job, however, is to penetrate the defense. I have 2 ways to do that. I can either pass through the defense to a player near the basket, an inside man as we call him, or I can penetrate off the dribble by dribbling the ball toward the basket. When I penetrate off the dribble, I can either try to score by myself, or pass to an inside man, or pass to a perimeter player for a shot from the outside. If I pass to a player who makes a basket, then the statistician awards me an assist. A good point guard is a good scorer. A great point guard knows how to distribute the ball to his teammates to get them open shots. When the opposing team has the ball, I often start the defense by calling a defensive play. It's also my job to slow their progress of the ball down the court. We call that pressuring the ball. Sometimes I'll start pressuring the ball handler for the opposing team down here at the end of the court. I will always start that attempt to slow the ball down by at least midcourt. In addition, it's my job not to let the other point guard penetrate to the basket. Instead, I want to force him to one side of the court or the other so that my teammates can get set in their defense before the opposing point guard starts running the offensive play. As a point guard, I'm a member of the backcourt. The other member of the backcourt is my teammate, the off guard.
I am the off guard, shooting guard, or 2-man. Offensively, I have 2 jobs. Once the point guard has the ball, I sprint down the court, always keeping my eye on the ball's location. Hopefully, I beat the defenders so that I have a clear shot at the basket. Or, I try to draw defenders to me so that one of my teammates is open for an easy shot. If neither of those situations occur, then it's my job to take the pass from the point guard. Then, I either make a penetrating pass from the wing position to the inside man, or penetrate toward the basket while dribbling in order to break the defense down. Defensively, I must pressure the ball and attempt to stop passes and dribble penetration from the opposing team. Once the ball is passed, I will try to deny the pass back to the man I am defending or become a help defender. By help defender, I mean I will move from the man I am defending to the paint or free throw area to help out with defense in that area. In addition, once a shot is taken, I must recover the longer rebounds and get it back to the point guard. Get the ball down court myself, or make a long pass down court to one of my favorite targets, the small forward.
I love that play. There's nothing like an easy bucket to make a player feel like he's done his job running the court. And that's part of my job as a small forward or wingman. As the offense comes down the court, I generally run down the side opposite the off guard or two-man. As you can guess, that makes me the three-man. I do the same things offensively as the two-man, but I must also be responsible for offensive rebounds in the lane. Look at the stats after each game. If your small forward doesn't have a few offensive rebounds, he's not doing his job. On the defense, I'm the same as the off guard. When the man I'm assigned to defend has the ball, I must try to get him stopped as far out on the side of the court as I can. Once I get the forward motion of my offensive player stopped, I then attempt to block what we call the passing lanes, making it as difficult as possible for my opponent to see and pass to any open man. If the ball is not with my man, but is on the other side of the court, then I become a help defender, defending against the high or lob pass or penetration off the dribble. Additionally, I have to be able to rotate back from the help position to the man I was originally guarding. I also have to keep my man from rebounding and provide defensive rebounding for my team. Again, if the small forward doesn't have any rebounds at the end of the game, he has let his team down. In that case, all of the rebounding responsibility has been left in the hands of the center and the power forward,
the big man. And that's me, one of the two big men. I'm the four-man or the power forward. I'm the team's all-around, all-the-time, most versatile player. Ideally, I can stay on the edge of the perimeter and shoot a three-point shot, or a shot from 15 to 17 feet away from the basket. Or I can get down in the paint, back in, turn and shoot a soft jump shot or hook shot. I can also drive the lane and score when I need to. And the guards have to like me because I set screens so they have an open shot. On defense, I have to be a jack of all trades. Depending on the offensive play, I get in front of the opposing team's big man and try to prevent him from receiving the ball. I sometimes end up guarding the small forward, so I must be able to prevent a long shot from outside. And of course, I provide help defense if a guard or forward penetrates into the paint. My most important role, however, is to rebound, both offensively and defensively. If I score no points, but have 22 rebounds in the game, my coach and fans are gonna be happy. Because I spend a lot of time rebounding down in the paint, I get banged on a lot. And so does the other big man, the center.
I'm the center and the post man, the number 5 man, the most bruising physical player on the court. You have to have an attitude to play down in the paint because you pound and get pounded on the whole game. It starts on offense. I usually begin with my back to the basket. I'll move back and turn and shoot a jump shot. Or fake, then shoot and try to get the opposing player to foul me. We call that drawing the foul. I can power move it in or shoot some kind of hook. And all the time, someone's pushing on my body, trying to move me off the blocks. But that's okay. I'll return the favor when I'm on defense. I have 3 main jobs on defense. First, cover their center or post player so that he cannot get the ball. Then, if a post player ends up with the ball, I must strongly challenge the shot. Finally, I also have to step into the lane and block penetration by the other team's guard or forward, so they must pass the ball. This makes the opposing team use time on the shot clock and gives my team a better chance to steal a pass. And like my friend the 4-man, I'm a rebound hound. A great center believes that every ball that doesn't go into the net is his property. Like I said, it's all in the attitude.
He's right. A lot of basketball is attitude and pride. As you watch the players on the floor, watch how hard they go after every ball, how much energy they expend running the floor, and how much effort they put into defending the other team. That's the first thing any fan should notice, the amount of pride a team develops from an all-out effort. Another thing to notice is how well a team executes its offense. All right, nothing like a three-pointer and a dunk to get the adrenaline flowing. Those baskets didn't just happen, however. They were the result of fundamental basketball skills, well-designed plays, and good execution. The coaches see it, the players see it, the announcers see it, and now you are going to see it. A couple of things before we begin. First, you'll note the guys have numbers 1 through 5 in their jerseys. For the purpose of this tape, those numbers denote the positions we talked about before. The 1-man is the point guard, the 2-man the off guard, the 3-man is the small forward, the 4-man is the power forward, and the 5-man is the center. These numbers here are simply to help you identify and follow the various positions on the floor. As we demonstrate the offense to you, the offensive team will be wearing the blue jerseys. As we demonstrate the defense to you, the defensive team will be wearing the white jerseys. Most fans watch games by following only the location of the ball. They follow the ball from pass to pass and then watch the shot. Let's watch our play one more time in slow motion. You saw the shot, but did you see what created the shot? As you'll see in more detail later, it is the movement of players who do not have the ball, which eventually enables a good shot to be taken. Why? Well, it's simple. If there was no significant movement by players without the ball, the defense would only have to think about and guard the player with the ball. If the other offensive players are moving, however, the defense must anticipate where those players are going and what they are going to do. So you always want to watch what your players without the ball are doing, and generally most of the off-ball movements, as we call them, are of 4 types. The give and go is simple and effective. A player passes to another player and immediately cuts toward the basket to receive a return pass and shoot or pass to another player. Cutting refers to a sharp movement either toward or away from the basket to find open spaces to receive the pass. The third off-the-ball movement is the back door. The back door brings a player without the ball down the backside of the court to receive the pass and score. A player without the ball is also going to be involved in setting a body block that we refer to as a screen or a pick. So if our 1-man passes the ball, he comes to set this screen or pick. His job is to restrict the movement of the defensive player and then roll back out to create an opening for himself. Let's do this at full speed so the fans can get a good look at what we're doing. One more important concept is proper spacing on the floor. Typically, you'll see the offense try to maintain 15 to 18 feet of space between each offensive player. Proper spacing is important because there must be space where the players can pass the ball safely and effectively and also have room to move without the ball. Let's say our 1-man drives the ball in this direction. That's going to force our 2-man to create a 15 to 18 foot space. Over here, our 5-man has broken up and is in the similar kind of spacing, and you notice everywhere on the floor we have the same thing. As opposed to now, we get our 1-man driving the ball the same way. Our 2-man doesn't react and gets too tightly bunched here. Our 5-man comes up into this area, and as you can notice now, we have 4 players within a very, very small portion of the court. Once we have these basics covered, let's move into the most commonly used offensive plays. Perhaps the most exciting offense for the fans to watch and the players to run is the fast break. The fast break sometimes occurs after a turnover or after a missed shot resulting in a rebound. Let's start by showing you the 3-on-2 fast break. The offensive player has taken the shot, it's missed and rebounded by one of the big men. The 1-man or point guard is calling for the outlet pass while the 3 and 2 men, who we will refer to as wings, are running the lanes. We keep the ball in the middle so that the 1-man can deliver it to either side. The 4-man, who is the non-rebounding big man, is coming down court as the trailer, trailing the play. The 5-man who rebounded the ball will stop at half court. We refer to him as the safety in case something happens where the ball is turned over. Now let's have the guys show you this in full speed. The 2-on-1 fast break occurs with 2 offensive players and 1 defender.
Yeah.
When a fast break occurs, be aware of these things. 1, the point guard, when he receives the ball, should have his head up so that he can look down the floor. His teammates must run the lanes as quickly as possible, the point guard then delivering the pass to the first open man for the best scoring opportunity. In case the fast break did not materialize, now the team will go into what we refer to as the early offense or the preset offense. The shot is taken as before, only this time it's made. The nearest big man takes the ball out of bounds and inbounds the ball to the point guard. In the meantime, the defense has recovered. So the 1 man will make the pass ahead now to the 3 man, and the big man who did not take the ball out of bounds, the 4 man in this situation, sets up on the side of the ball at the block. If possible, if he's open, we would give him a pass to the inside. If not, however, the wing man, the 2 man who did not receive the ball, meanwhile, to keep his defense occupied, will come up, set a back screen for the point guard, who will go to the offside part of the court. The 3 man then can choose to make a cross-court pass to the 1 man. In the meanwhile, the 5 man, who was the safety on the fast break, sees the fast break has not materialized, so he comes down and gets involved in the offensive pattern. And we'll conclude this with the pass to the inside and the 5 man taking the shot. Now, let's show you this in full speed. We talked earlier about the pick and roll or screen and roll, but we'd like to break this down for you now so that you can follow the action more closely. What we're going to do is to bring the 1 man, the point guard, off this high post screen by the big man, forcing a defensive player to help, at which time our 5 man rolls to the basket for the reception of the pass and the basket. Now we'd like to show this to you at game speed. The great thing about the pick and roll is it can be run anywhere on the half court with any combination of players.
Mark. Nice screen, JT.
One of the most commonly used offenses is the motion game or the passing game. It initiates with a pass from the point guard over to one of the wings, in this case the 3 man. As soon as the guard makes the pass, he will go away to screen. In anticipation of the screen, the wing man opposite the ball will set his man up in a V-cut motion and break toward the basketball. At the same time, the 1 man will then roll out to create the spacing that we want on the offense. The 3 man will look inside when he first gets the pass. If the 4 man is open, he'll throw it to him. If he's not, he will also move away to screen, bringing the 5 man to the basketball. In essence, the only player who is stationary is the man with the ball. Everyone else should be moving, screening, and cutting in order to get somebody open for a shot. Let's watch this in game speed.
Nice screen, JT.
Another offense that provides us with a lot of options is the high post offense. You're going to see that it's set up differently from the motion game with a 1 guard front. Here, instead, we start with a 2 guard front, which means our point guard and our 2 man are both out court. In addition, where we normally have the 3-man on the perimeter, we're also taking and putting the 4-man on the perimeter at free throw line extended on the other side of the floor. Our postman, our 5-man, instead of being at the block or the low post, is instead at the high post. As you can notice now, we have spacing throughout the court. We have our 15-foot spacing among all of the players on the court. We brought the entire offense up above the free throw line area so that we can open up the basket area for cuts. We're going to, for purposes of demonstration here, have our 1-man bring the ball down. Our 4-man creates a possible pass outside, but instead we're going to reverse the ball and go to the 2-man. We could have initiated, however, to that side. Now our 2-man passes to the 3-man. Our 5-man has turned and created a body block here with his back to the 2-man, who cuts through to the basket, and hopefully we'll be able to score on a lay-in. Now that is one of a number of options that we're going to show you. We're going to bring the defense in now and run it at full speed. A second option in the high post offense will be as follows. The ball will start in the same position, and now we've made the pass as we did before, the pass to the 3-man with the guard cutting. Now, let's say that the guard who cut was not open. Now we go into what we call the high-low option. The pass is made to the high post man. The offside forward, the power forward, has come down to the block and now steps in, and we get the delivery of a pass from the high post man to the low post man. You hear the term very often, high-low entry. This is an example of the same. Okay, if we can bring the defense now out here, we'll run this at full speed for you to watch. We've described and demonstrated many of the basic plays that go into any offense. Different coaches, however, will have variations of what we've shown you. But remember this, don't get frustrated. If you don't understand something, return to the tape and you'll pick up something the next time.
Hold on, Coach. What about defense?
Well, you're right. For every talented offensive player, there's an equally talented defensive player. The defensive players must perform their roles in order for the defense to work. What you've just seen is one of the most standard and recognizable defenses, the man-to-man. In the man-to-man, each player is assigned to guard a particular man, and his job is to stay with that man. The other concept that you have to understand, you hear a lot ball side and help side. Let's say that the ball is at the point guard position. He makes the pass over here. As soon as this happens, we have now designated this side of the court as the ball side, which means that the man on the ball is going to be pressuring the ball. Each of the other defenders on this side are going to be denying the pass to their man. The other side of the court is referred to as the help side, which tells you their primary responsibility is to provide assistance to the players on the ball side. There are two situations that occur that help is needed, and we'll show you the two most common. One is when the ball has been passed inside to the post man. We bring a help side defender across to double team to force the pass to be thrown back outside. Once the ball is outside, we recover to that. Now the second common help situation occurs when the ball is driven and the defender is beat. The other man comes to provide assistance and help to stop the penetration to the basket. We've shown you how you defend the perimeter player. Now let's take a look at how we defend the post. If the ball is in this position and we want to keep the ball from being received by the 4-man, this man can step into a position totally in front of the offensive player, thus the term fronting the post. Okay, the second most common defensive method here will be the 3/4 front, which means with the ball in this position, we'll have the man playing with his hand and arm into the passing lane to keep the ball from being received in the low post. Here's one more look at man-to-man defense. As you can tell, the man-to-man defense is easily recognizable. Now, during the course of a ball game, though, you may see a team in a man-to-man defense one time, and another time they may be in a zone defense. So let's go through and describe for you what a zone defense actually is. And for purposes of demonstration, we're going to use a 2-3 defense. And what that means is we've got our 2 guards, our 1 and 2 men, up in front. They have a responsibility to guard anyone that comes into their zone or their area. For example, if the ball is passed from here over to the 3-man in this zone or this area, the guard 1 here will take the ball. If, for example, then the ball is passed to the corner, now the 3-man, being this is his area or zone to cover, will come over and cover the basketball. During the entire procedure in the zone, the job of the 5-man is to keep the ball out of the basket area. So he will step in front of the offensive postman and keep the ball from penetrating the middle of the defense. The help side defenders have the same responsibility as they have in a man-to-man, in that when the ball is on one side of the court, the 2 zone defenders on the offside will come into a help position. Their responsibility is to provide assistance to the guys on the ball side. If we can bring the basketball back out now, if you look at why would teams use zone defenses, the primary reason is that they want to keep the ball out of the basket area and force a shot to be taken from the perimeter of the defense. Now, let's take a look at a zone defense at game speed. Zones, by the way, tend to slow a game down. If your team wants to take advantage of its speed, however, you may want to press as part of your defense. A press is designed to force turnovers or to speed up the tempo of the game. We're going to show you, as one example, the trap press. We have the ball out of bounds now after a made basket. We have our 4-man defending the man out of bounds with the ball, trying to get a deflection of the pass. Our 2 guards are in a position here where they're denying their players the inbound pass. The 1-man, let's say on this side of the court, will force his man toward the corner and either try to intercept the ball or force him to the deep corner. The ball is passed, he takes away the sideline and pressures the ball while the man defending out of bounds comes to the ball to create the double team. With this, our offside defender up front, the guard, will play both the inbound man and another player in the center of the court. He must take away the center of the court. The 3-man must take away the sideline pass, but will also split his defense between the middle and the side to provide assistance to the 2-man. Our 5-man is our safety. He must be back in the midcourt area, protecting against any possible long pass to the other end. With this defense, if the first pass out of the double team is not intercepted, many teams will recover then to the half-court defense. However, some teams will go back, set up at half court, and go into a half court trap. As an example, let's say that the one man here was able to get the ball down the sideline to the three man. Okay? A lot of teams now would just go back to the defensive end of the court here and forget playing full court. But other teams may wait then for this pass to be thrown, reset their defense with the same positions basically as we had full court, and now the man who was guarding the man out of bounds now takes the ball coming across half court. The pass is made to here. We come with the trap at half court and the same kind of defensive assignments here. The man taking away the sideline and helping in the middle. This man playing the reversal pass and the middle. And our post man, our five man, acting as the safety in the defense. Now let's show you the trap press at full speed. Another form of pressing defense is what we call a containment press. We've shown you the trapping press. This defense, however, is meant to contain the offense and force them into a situation where they use 8 or 9 seconds off of the shot clock. The defense will start with no pressure on the ball out of bounds. We're not denying the inbound pass. We let the pass come in, and now we're just going to contain the ball with this defender. While this is happening here, we basically get set up into a box. This would be referred to as a 2-2-1 pressure defense. The box that we have would be the three-man taking away the sideline, our four-man taking away the middle, our two-man helping on the ball but ready to respond to his man if he receives the ball. So let's say the ball is progressed down court here. We continue to contain. We move our box back. Now let's pass the ball to the two-man. And now as the two-man takes the ball to this side, our box now has moved. Our 2-2-1 has moved to this side of the court. Okay, with this, if the ball goes back, now as the ball progresses across half court, we're just going to go back into a man-to-man defense. You could go back into a zone, but we're going to go back into a man-to-man defense now to defend the offense of this team. Now let's take a look at this at full speed. We've shown you two of the most common types of presses. One, the containment press, one, the trap press. Remember though, if your team's going to press, they have to be in excellent physical condition and they have to have a lot of substitutes ready to come in off the bench. Well, we hope you've enjoyed getting into the game.
Wait a minute. Coach, haven't you forgotten something?
Forgotten something? We've covered basic fundamentals, offenses, defenses. Can't think of anything.
What about the referees?
Oh, the refs. Well, I guess a game wouldn't be a game without the referees, huh? Well, only this time we're going to make sure they're making the right calls.
No shot.
To help us show you some of the rules of the game, we have three excellent officials joining us.
Hello, I'm Bill Kennedy.
I'm Andy Rios.
And I'm Tommy Nunez. Today we're going to have the players scrimmage and show you some of the things that they can and can't do on the court. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about how the officials set up on the court. When we are on one end of the floor, we get set in a triangular pattern. Just like the players in their zone defense, each official has an area of the floor he's supposed to cover. The baseline official covers around the basket and along the baseline. The right corner or right wing official covers the right half of the court. The left corner or left wing official covers the left half of the court. Any official can call any violation he sees, but it is preferable that the official closest to the violation blow the whistle and make that call. Get out of the paint, get out. That's a 3-second violation. An offensive player may not stay in the paint longer than 3 seconds while his team has control of the ball at the offensive end of the court. There are other types of timing violations that you should be aware of also. The ball cannot be held without the player moving for more than 5 seconds while an offensive player has the ball in the front court. 5-second violation, white ball. While a player is closely guarded at his offensive end of the court, he must shoot, pass, or dribble within 5 seconds. Don't forget that in both the college and international game, the ball must be shot and hit the rim of the basket before the shot clock expires or the ball goes back to the other team. Shot clock violation, white ball. The offense must inbound the ball within 5 seconds after the official hands the ball to the player throwing the ball in. As Coach Olson said earlier, the offense must cross the midcourt line within 10 seconds of the time the ball is inbounded. 10 seconds, white ball. Once the offense crosses it, they cannot go back over that line unless the ball is knocked loose by the opponent. If the offense recrosses that line, the official will call an over and back violation. The other team will then get the ball at midcourt.
Hey, ref, I'm just contesting the shot.
No, you bellied him up. Here's a perfect example of a defensive player starting in a good, legal, vertical position, but once the offensive player turned to shoot the basket, he stepped into him and bellied him up. That's why it's a foul.
5 white, hold.
What is that, man? You need these?
That's a T, 5 white. A technical may occur in a number of different ways. First, a coach or player has overstepped their bounds, arguing a call with an official. Players cannot taunt one another or physically assault one another in any manner. All technical fouls result in 2 shots and a ball out of bounds for the foul team. Other fouls that carry that same penalty are the hard foul or the intentional foul and the flagrant foul. In addition, the flagrant foul results in the ejection of the player who committed the foul. Also, you fans are not exempt from a technical foul also, as you may throw debris on the floor or impede the progress of the ball game.
Goaltending, 2 points.
Goaltending, that ball was still on the way up.
That was goaltending. Goaltending occurs in basically 2 ways. If a shot has been taken and the ball is on its downward path and appears headed for the basket, it cannot be blocked by a defensive player. The key thing to watch here is that the ball has started on its downward path and that it appears headed for the basket. If the ball is still moving upward or there is no chance that it will end up in the basket, then no goaltending violation will be called. In addition, no player can touch the ball while it's on the rim of the basket. That is also goaltending. International rules are the same, except that once the ball is within the basket cylinder, it may be knocked out by the defense without a penalty.
2 white.
I barely touched him.
A reach in. That's what we call impeding the progress. If the defensive player is not going for the ball but simply makes body contact with the offensive player with his hand, that's a hand check. Ball goes out of bounds to the other team.
That's a charge.
Come on, ref, his feet weren't set.
He was set. He was there. That's probably the most difficult call in the game of basketball, the block charge call. The key to whether it's a charge or not is whether the defensive player has established a legal defensive position. A defensive position has been established when a defender fully sets his feet and body in front of the offensive player. Once the feet and body have been set, the defender may then move laterally with the offensive player. If the defensive player has established the set defensive position, an offensive player cannot move the defensive player from that position by initiating physical contact. Thus, if the offensive player initiates contact in the torso area, an offensive foul or charge has been committed and possession of the ball goes to the other team. However, if the defensive player has not established the set defensive position and the players make contact, the defensive player will be called for the block.
That's a block. Three white. That is one type of personal foul that's committed. There are other types of personal fouls that also can be committed that you should be familiar with. Also remember, the offense as well as the defense can commit personal fouls. Tripping an opponent is a foul. Impeding the progress of an opponent by extending an arm, hand, shoulder, hip, or knee, or blocking that progress with your body will result in a foul. Making contact from behind, the push, is also a personal foul.
Push!
One of the most difficult calls for the fan to see is the ball handling call. Although it's not a foul, it does result in the ball being turned over to the other team. Quinn here will demonstrate a proper and improper dribble. You see there is one bounce for each touch of the hand. If the ball handler touches the ball twice, or with two hands, on the same bounce, that's a double dribble and a turnover. When a player stops his dribble, he can't start dribbling again. That's also called a double dribble. During the process of dribbling, if the ball handler holds the ball rather than immediately bouncing it, that's called palming and results in a turnover. The ball handler's hand must stay on top of the ball during the dribble. If the hand cradles the ball from underneath during the dribble, that's a violation and possession of the ball is awarded to the other team.
That's a travel, number one. That's a walk.
Walking? That was no walk.
It was a travel because you lifted your pivot foot before you released the ball. Here's a call that everyone loves to disagree about. It's the traveling call, and there's several different ways a player can travel. You cannot take more than 1.5 steps with the ball in your hand. You cannot pick up your pivot foot before you dribble. What's a pivot foot? When a player has the ball and has either stopped his dribble or not started it yet, he must keep one foot in the same position on the floor. He can pivot on that foot, but he must keep it on the floor or it's a traveling violation. After a while, you'll recognize when your player has traveled and when the official made the wrong call.
Well, guys, have we finally covered everything?
Well, we covered the offenses and defenses.
We've got the basic fundamentals covered.
And the refs covered all the right rules and the calls. I think we got it all, Coach.
Not quite, though. You've forgotten the most important thing, the fan. You're a critical part of the game, and we thank you for wanting to learn more about it. We hope you've enjoyed this tape and that you'll join us again soon for more ways to get in the game.